Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay, and I'm a historian who is also the terminally online news junkie. And what I want to do starting this week is take a little time out just to go over two or three of the top news stories and give you my thoughts on them. So, for this week, which just ended on July 27th, 2025, the biggest story is still the Jeffrey Epstein files. And it looks like at this point, Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be getting some limited immunity to testify without any further uh, complications or judicial punishments. And it also looks like that President Trump will most likely be pardoning her within the next week or two. I will say this, it may be a dangerous move by the president to grant immunity and a pardon to Ms. Maxwell, because once you are pardoned, the Fifth Amendment no longer can protect you from anything involving that conviction or that crime. You have to tell the truth, and if you do not answer anything, you're automatically perjuring yourself and can be sent to prison for that crime. And of course, there is a lot involved with this whole Epstein thing. As of earlier this week, the old gray lady, everyone's favorite newspaper, the New York Times, has found that there are more than 100,000 pages of unreleased material. Now, just to give you an idea of what 100,000 pages looks like, I don't even have 100,000 pages on those three bookcases you have to see behind me. I might have them all across all seven of mine, but not on those three. So that's just a lot of paper. And it makes sense. The guy was a predator for several decades, and I'm sure he had dirt on everyone that came in his orbit, including President Trump. And of course, Congress is also interested, and they've been trying to get the files themselves. But of course, Speaker Johnson, being the coward that he is, sent the House into recess a couple days early just to avoid a floor vote. Now, fortunately, the House Oversight Subcommittee on Federal Law Enforcement Agencies, they were able to force a vote, and it was great. It was an 8-2 vote on that subcommittee, with 3 Republicans opting to vote in favor of that subpoena. And now, since that subpoena has been agreed upon by that subcommittee, the full Oversight Committee Chair, James Comer, if he hasn't already, will be issuing that subpoena. So Congress will get those files sometime in early to mid-September once it's been issued. Now, I know one person who really, 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 really wants to see those files is our old buddy Elon Musk. In fact, this was a great expose that I found from the Washington Post, which explains how him stoking up all that fervor by stating that Trump's in the Epstein files may have been a long-term ploy, but it has worked. So Trump's pretty much in a bad way if he tries to do anything with any Elon stuff, because who knows if Elon and his Doge Bros took copies of some crucial stuff out of that file, and who knows what Musk found in the Epstein files. So that's a quick update on that. I'm sure this story is going to keep developing, and it'll probably be a recurring story on this show. But let's turn to something a little more fun, which was also caused by something Trump did, and that is the Paramount Skydance merger. So, while this week Paramount and Skydance got the okay from the FCC to closed the deal coming up on the 7th of August, it was not a good week to be a Paramount executive. In fact, it was horrible. First of all, in a great coup, there are a lot of folks that are very upset with Paramount and had canceled their Paramount Plus subscriptions. To the tune of the last reporting I heard, $70 million worth of income just dried up in a matter of days after Colbert being canceled. But that's not even the best part. They could actually be in a more of a bad way, because on Wednesday, the creators of South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Parker and Trey Smith, they agreed to a $1.25 billion 5-year streaming deal with 50 new shows to be created as well during that time period. And almost as soon as that ink was dry on that deal, Matt and Trey just went ballistic on Paramount and Trump. It was hilarious. I do not recommend watching the episode at work, as there is cartoon and AI nudity. It's also South Park, so it's vulgar. But this is even more so than I ever seen. And I've seen some vulgar South Park episodes, and if there were any lines they hadn't crossed, they crossed it this week. But the folks at Paramount had it coming. They should have known that something was going to come up as a result of Colbert firing, and not just Colbert going off on CBS and Paramount and Skydance and basically going crazy and full unfiltered on his show. But when you got Matt and Trey from South Park involved and you just paid them, you basically set yourself up for either 5 years of mockery or having to write off $1.25 billion in loss if you decided to cut that contract early. So that also is going to be an interesting story to follow. I'm actually going to start watching South Park again just to see what Matt and Trey do every week, because I'm sure they are not going to sit on the sidelines this administration like they did the last one. So that's just some thoughts I had on the news. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share this with anyone you think is interested. If you're going to leave a comment, please be civil, as we're all just trying to get through life. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next week. Bye.